So my dude's Valk here, and today I'll be talking about Raiden Shogun C6. Now, I can't showcase the C6 yet. I plan on C6ing her, but I don't have her C6 yet, but I will, and I'll showcase it then. But I just want to talk about it and showcase its uses. Well, not showcase, but talk about its uses and explain where it's going to be good. Now, I'm going to be very blunt with Raiden Shogun. She's really only good in floor 12 of Abyss because there's nowhere else in the game where anything's really tanky enough to be able to survive like more than one or two rotations of your team, and Raiden speeds up the rotational speed of your team as a whole. So she's only really good in the hardest content in the game, that's what I believe, where it only really matters if a unit is good there. So whenever I'm talking about her C6, if you guys don't know what her C6 does, essentially while she's attacking inside of her ult, she reduces the cooldowns of her allies by 1 second whenever she hits an opponent, and it caps out at 5 seconds. Now, where is this good? Because this seems useless. If you do a full rotation with Raiden Shogun, you're going to end up back on Raiden Shogun ready to roll at about like, if you're maximizing the time each unit has on the field, you're going to end up back on her around like 18 seconds or so. So you're like, Valk, are you really going to C6 a unit to save 2 seconds? No. The way she works and the way she's going to function mostly with it is with 80 cost ult units. If you don't understand how cooldowns work, this is for most units. Obviously for some units like Xiao, if you go to him, he is a 70 cost energy cost with 90 or 70 energy cost with 18-second cooldown. Raiden Shogun's a 90 energy cost with 18-second cooldown. If you go to those units, this isn't going to apply. But for everybody else, 40 cost ults tend to be on 12-second cooldowns. 60 cost ults tend to be on 15-second cooldowns, and then 80 cost ults tend to be on 20-second cooldowns. So, where Raiden Shogun's going to shine in this is basically you are going to build your 80 cost ult unit with somewhere around like 140 ER, and you're going to throw all the 80 cost ult units you can on the Raiden Shogun team, and you're going to just rotate them out like they're 60 cost essentially. Essentially, you're going to have access to the strongest ults in the game at faster rotations, because you're not spending the full 7 seconds of Raiden Shogun's ult on the field, but you're going to start swapping quickly, and it lets you have these really powerful ults on constant 15-second cooldowns, maybe less, and you're going to be able to rotate much faster. Now, I'm going to hop into Abyss real quick and try to show you guys exactly what I mean. Alright, so now for this, I basically just slapped together a bunch of 80 cost ults so we can see. I'm just going to burn them as fast as I can, so you guys can get an idea of how rotation works with this setup and how everything's going to go. I'm going to burn Eula's ult as fast as I can as well. I understand that I'm not trying to make this optimal, but you guys can get an idea. Let's see, I'm going to be here about 5 seconds, and then I'm going to swap out. You can see it's a 4-second cooldown here. Hers is already up at 2 seconds, and then you have also a 6-second cooldown there. So you'll be able to actually speed up your rotations better, and obviously this Abyss as a whole isn't the best for Raiden Shogun in the setup because of high tide, low tide, but you'll be able to speed up these super hyper expensive cost ults in rotations, and you'll be able to do them very quickly over and over. Now, is this overall a good C6? I think it is, but it's niche. It's not going to be good for 90% of the people that use it, but whenever you play into it, it's going to be extremely powerful. Like a lot of stuff with Raiden Shogun. It takes a lot of kind of foresight to see where this is going to be good, because it's going to be something that gets better with time. The more units that come out that have 80 cost ults, that have and these off-the-field crazy DPS ults to where you can keep virtually 100% uptime with Raiden Shogun. For example, with Xingling at C4, I think it is, has a 14-second uptime on her Pyronado, so you end up with a 1-second downtime if you're rotating properly with the Raiden Shogun, and it's essentially the same for any character like that. I think I'm 90% sure Xing Qiu has a 15-second uptime, so if you lower the cooldown by 15 seconds, then obviously you go ahead and you have a 100% uptime. So it's going to up these DPS, or it's going to up the DPS of these teams, or the rotations of them, because Raiden Shogun's all about rotational speed, and she's going to absolutely send these teams to the freaking moon. Whenever I get Raiden Shogun, I'm going to make a second video about the C6. I'm going to showcase it better, because like I said, I can't really showcase it too well through this Abyss, because it is so reliant on being able to rotate quickly, and this Abyss punishes you pretty hard for rotating too fast. But it's really relying on you rotating quickly, and it's really relying on really niche teams. It reminds me a lot of like Xiao's C6 and the fact that it's super powerful, but it's super, super niche, and you're only going to be able to use it in very specific content, because I don't know much content that these 80 cost ults just aren't going to nuke almost instantly. So that's basically the video. Let me know what you guys think about Raiden Shogun C6 in the comment section below. I've seen a lot of discussion about it, and I wanted to, as you know, the Raiden Shogun guy, I wanted to weigh in on it. Like I said, I don't think it's the most broken C6 in the game. I think it is pretty good, though, if it's used in the correct scenario. I don't think it's going to be for everyone, though, because obviously, I know Bennett's a 60 cost ult. You won't be able to really run Bennett in that team, but you'll be able to run, like, Sara on faster cooldown. You'll be able to run all these characters on really fast cooldowns. You'll be able to have good energy recharge throughout the team. And you'll have access to some of the highest multipliers on basically shorter cooldowns, which in turn speeds up everything. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching, as always. Hopefully this explained kind of what I think the C6 use is. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.